Munachogwari. Thanks for joining me. Let me take you on a fantastic ride. Today's topic is Business Nuggets, which talks about startups and like-minded personalities. Now, when I refer to startups, minds is a small business or things around it or things flowing through that channel. Well, you might not necessarily be wrong, but when I say startups, I'm basically referring to people or individuals coming in with the intention to have a business, with the aim, particularly emphasis on aim, of making profit. Now, when we talk about startups, like-minded personalities, there's a conjunction there. Now, especially grow to a larger scale. Hence the conjunction of like-minded personalities. Now, when we talk about like-minded personalities in relation to businesses, especially when we talk about startup businesses, we're referring to a group of people with a common goal and a common intention. In a few years' time, with the purpose of making profit. Now, why do we say they have to be like-minded personalities? They have to be like-minded personalities because when you want to start up a business, you must have the drive, you must have the zeal, you must have the hunger, and most importantly, you must have the patience. All this comes together to give you a full equipped automatic vehicle which transports you from the direction or from the location where you are to the location where you're headed. Take for instance, in established companies, you have the yielding and the wielding minds of the company, popularly referred to as the directors of the company. And if you pay cognizance to the Companies and Allied Matters Act, 2020 to be precise, it makes provision that only a small company will be allowed to have just one director, which means there's an importance on the who wield directive powers in relation to administrative aspects of a company. Now, why do we have directors in the company? Because they need to be persons sitting in front of the driving the vehicle to the position or the location in which the vehicle needs to get to. Fantastic, right? Yeah. So imagine if you had a car and you don't have a license, or you don't like driving, doesn't have a license. A misconception there in how that car would actually be used effectively. Because it's not even about getting into accidents, but it might be issues of running into law enforcement agencies. We're going to get back to the law enforcement agencies. Let's continue. The issue of directors can never be overseen in a company. For instance, we have a term called shadow director. These are persons who are not on your everyday agenda in terms of activities of how the company operates, but they are playing a backroom effective job in ensuring that even the directors that are recognized as the company fully are putting in the right work to ensure that the purpose for which that business was started is actually achieved. Now, in relation to starting a company, what are the like-minded personalities supposed to do to ensure that the business in which they have actually started gets supported, or its proposed, or its determined, or its fixed destination. It's actually coming to ensure that capital hands are not only managing the affairs of the company, but as well as departments in which they can allow their capabilities and expertise flourish. It's going to be almost impossible to start up an engineering company without having a professional or licensed engineer to offer one or two services in relation to irrespective of the fact that you have the administrative body ensuring that the school gets to where it needs to get to in terms of managing the affairs of that school. And like-minded personalities come together. They come together with the goal of making sure that their company gets to where it's supposed to get to. And this cannot be done without proper expertise. So which means that one person cannot helm the affairs. Of course, you can start up your business. But like I said, for purpose of expansion and for purpose of rapid growth, you need division of labor. You need qualitative minds, like-minded minds that share your drive, that share your ambition. And this is where you bring in personalities who should be separated into different positions. All established companies have this. We have the CEO, who is the Chief Executive Officer in relation to companies, as well as the COO, which is a chief in relation to the activities of companies as well. We also have CFOs, which are Chief Financial Officers in relation to managing activities and administrative affairs of the company. Make no mistake, these roles are not there. While executive functions are being performed by the CEO, operative functions are being performed by the COO, and financial and administrative functions in respect of finances are being performed by a CFO. Now, it's not just important that we have this distinction of departments as well as people managing the affairs of these departments. It's very, very sacrosanct that we have qualified minds, capable hands, actually manning these divisions. The purpose for growth, for expansion, for soaring to greater heights. What happens in companies when there is actually a party who is filling up a particular role but is either unqualified or not able to deliver as expected? There becomes a lagging. There becomes a dragging behind. And that's where you see issues where, oh, this particular department is actually tidying up things on their end, but the other department is actually not doing so. And then it begins to drag the company back. Cases like this, you have a department called the Human Resources Department to ensure that every staff is coordinating its affairs effectively. Look at recruitment purposes, for example, in relation to companies. Some recruitment stages involve 3 stages. Some could be as extended as 5. The purpose to get qualified capital. Back. So in cases like this, when you intend on starting up your company or your business, as the case may be, no matter how small, you have like-minded personalities. You all come together. You have a discussion. What is your area of expertise? What is my area of expertise? And then to establishing the business in which people have desired. in your mind, in your vision, and channel your resources and your activities and your strength and your manpower towards achieving the goal in which you people have set up to achieve. The business has commenced. The ball has been put in motion. What happens in this stage? Adequate monitoring of the key players in the game. Who are the key players in the game? Workers, managers. And how do you do that? Depends on you. But actively monitoring the affairs and the activities of people who are actually manning the ship in which you have put to sea is a very key ingredient in this gets to the stage to get to. Take for instance, established companies. We have companies who have management meetings every first day of the work week. We have traditional practices in corporate law firms where they have general meetings every last day of the work week. These are meetings put in place to ensure that each member of the company actually provides an up-to-date assessment of tasks that have been carried out for the week. When I say week, I mean the previous one, as well as sharing out further assessments and tasks in which they are going to carry out for the forthcoming week, thereby allowing the management of the company to assess if there is actually a lagging on a particular part in terms of the report that has been laid to the management at the meetings. We also have annual general meetings. These are meetings conducted by companies in relation to ensuring that the work done for the year is actually a desired activity in which the management can say, let's tap ourselves on the shoulder. We've actually done what we're supposed to do. Or if it's a situation where they didn't meet the initial threshold that they agreed to, then fine. We'll look at how we can go better the next year. Very important. Ensuring like-minded personalities in relation to your businesses is very important and very key. Because in cases like this, when you establish a company without nurturing it, without showing the company the necessary affection it needs to have, then there's a problem. A big problem at that. Because just like everything on this earth, for your company to actually get to the desired heights that it deserves, and the heights that you've projected in your mind, you need to nurture your company. Also, in relation to compliance activities, very important, in ensuring that a company gets to the desired heights, in ensuring that your startup businesses get to the desired heights, you need to ensure regulatory compliance of your company at all times. You cannot afford to be caught lagging in terms of ensuring that you keep your books up to date in relation to registrations and necessary documentations of filing of the necessary reports you need in relation to laws guiding your businesses. My point here is, in your intention of starting up a business, do not just say, oh, I have an experience in this field. You need to take additional steps. Consider the relevant laws guiding business practices in relation to the area in which you want to set up your business. You may never know what you would find. And don't be ignorant and say, oh, I'm very vast with the law, I'm very vast with things that concerns my company and its activities. Make further researches. Engage people that are experienced in this line of work. Engage corporate solicitors. They could profile your advice to whatever extent it is you need to get. Ensure that all your books are up to date. And when I mean books, I don't just mean your legal books, I mean every book of the company. Ensure that all things in relation to the prosperity of your company, in relation to its activities, are being documented. Ensure that your staff and your management are being monitored at all times. And ensure that no one person has more than one responsibility that they are supposed to handle. There should be an opportunity and a room for shared activities. That is the essence of having like-minded personalities coming together to engage in a startup business. Like-minded personalities, or in terms of easy definitions, we could say division of labor. Beautiful, right? So easy. So if you, watching this video, have decided to start up your business tomorrow, I'm not saying you should run into